Good morning, everyone. Thought you were asleep, and I also thought that I was asleep, and Nebula also thought that I was asleep, but no, it's 5 in the morning, which means it's prime time for some good old spy party. My name is Yash. I'm joined by Star Z, or as Rolf would call it, Star Z. Hello.
Wait, sorry. There are people out there calling me Star Z. Whoa, that. Well, thank you for putting your own spin on it. It's 12:30 p.m. here, so just past midday, and it's very, very hot, 34 degrees if you're into Celsius. And we've got two challenger games for you today. Our first we're going to be covering is Dodo versus Chibi. Now, I think this is actually their first week for both players. I think both players came in late, just like I did.
Well, if there's anything I learned from playing League of Legends is that everyone in Challenger is perfect and makes no mistakes. So I'm very interested to see what the players will show up to us. But before we get into the game, we need to look through the draft in case we miss anything. And I know how much you hate Modern, so the band probably something that you adore, right?
This makes me sad to read. Unfortunately, everyone in chat, we have seen the Modern ban. We won't be seeing Modern for this game. I know it's sad. That was the ban for Dodo. We also saw a ban for High Rise from Chibi, and then we saw restricts on Courtyard and Aqua. And it looks like we've got quite a few big venues today. Actually, pretty much all big venues. Doubling on Veranda and Library, followed by singles on Aquarium and Courtyard. So I think it's going to be a very big venue day today. Should be pretty interesting to see what the Spies can pull out.
Well, more actually bigger venues is also a pretty interesting thing considering that both of those players are kind of new to the game, as you've pointed out. And the one thing that new players will have to learn at some point in their game journey is to like just do things on the spy. And I'm actually very interested to see what will happen now that all of those are pretty big venues where you actually kind of do have to do things have been picked. So yeah, I guess without further ado, let's move on to Veranda. Or as Rov would call it, the best venue in the game. That bit is not old yet, right? Um,
No worries. All right, so we will be jumping into Veranda. Looks like we've got Dodo will be starting us off as Spy on Rocker in 3, 2, 1. Now, the interesting thing is that it seems like we've gone for very sniper-sided venues or just big venues. It looks like we want to give our spies a lot of action, and both players kind of agreed on that as well because we actually saw both of them go for each other's restricts for the singles. So we saw a restrict on Courtyard, which was singled, and a restrict on Aqua, which was singled as well. So both players trying to push each other's weaknesses here. The question is, was the restrict a fake out? But Dodo will be going for a very early fingerprint to get us started off.
and a book in hand as well. So probably gonna spend some time with that book in hand. Ideally, our opponent will forget where that book came from by the time we choose to put it into the wrong bookshelf, I presume, because surely wasting that much time with a book would not necessarily be in our greatest game plans. But yeah, Veranda, pretty big venue, a lot of things to look at both on the sniper side and the spy side, and quite a few dangerous angles that could be pretty annoying here. We do see Toby and the Ambassador next to each other, which is a bit unfortunate for us here because usually the sniper wants to guard both of those. So if they are in the same place, just makes the job easier. Seduction target will take the drink, move into the empty conversation, move into the window. Look, very suspicious doing all of that. In highlight, of course, troubles as well. But 85% for us, so no harm, no foul if we are Dodo.
Not a bad start. We did get the red test on the float before, and I think if Chibi was looking over towards the purloin, that could have been a very quick low light heavy game. we could have seen. I think everyone would have just received a highlight in that conversation. You can low like everyone else to get a good start. Fortunately, he wasn't looking that way, so Dodo is going to be chasing Teal around quite vehemently. But it doesn't really look like it's even remotely noticed as we actually come back to this side and we are going to put the red book. Oh, wow, we are going to slam it in as well. And that is not going to be noticed, I think. I think we're looking at the other side of the venue and we're going to get away with a free objective there. 2 down, 3 to go for Veranda.
I actually kind of like it. Spending time with that book at the bookshelf does mean that your opponent will have more time to realize where that book came from, or at least try to remember that part. And yeah, as just slamming may not be correct etiquette wise, but as my coach always told me, it's only illegal if people catch you for it. So yeah, that's why I
Banana
wasn't
bread.
as success in any kind of competition. Here's Banana Bread gets called, and well, the shot rings. I mean, it was kind of close.
Yeah, it was so close. So there wasn't a highlight on salmon. I'm not too. Oh no, there was. It looks like we took a highlight off as we looked at them and then took the shot. Oh no, there was a highlight. Yeah, possibly just a incorrect mission count for that one. Got a little bit too quick on the jump. We only had 3 missions done, and there was still quite a while left in the game. So unfortunately, did not work out for us. That is going to be the first win for Dodo there with the clean green banana bread. And we'll go to the next game, which will have Chibi on Pearl in 3, 2, 1.
Uh, Pearls is a really fun character to pick on Veranda, not gonna lie.
You're wrong. You're wrong. There's no
I'm
way.
objectively correct.
You know what? I do love Pearls. I'm a huge Pearl fan, don't get me wrong. But on Veranda, I can't. She's so slow. I just can't deal with it. It's not even that the slowness is a disadvantage. It's that I actually get bored. So like yeah, it's horrible, right? It's horrible. On Veranda, just look for the fast characters when you're versing me, because chances are I'm just playing Alice. Just because she's fast. I just want to get from one side of the menu to the other.
And here you have it, folks. The strongest weakness of Starzy, revealed right before our eyes, the ADHD. I mean, the other things that I know Pearls from, besides her famously slow walking speed, is pretty slow inspect animations, which are pretty nice if you're trying to hit those 3 inspects in one cycle. Or maybe 3 inspects in 2 cycles, but you know. Point is, there's no 3 inspect spots on Veranda, so that advantage kinda gets Jotun right out of the window, of which there is exactly one of the Spaniards. So yeah, right now we are just stuck here flirting with Smallman. I mean, 34% is not that bad, and look at his bald head. That is a person that we definitely want to flirt with.
It looks like we got some collision there with the amber. We've also broken etiquette quite a few times, so Chibi might not be too aware of the conversation etiquette. We're also putting this book back a little bit earlier than what I thought we would, but we'll see whether we get away with it. I think if we're going to get shot, it's going to be now. And it doesn't look like it's coming. The laser does rotate around, but I think we have gotten away with it. And that is going to be our first objective done. Both are pretty similar in terms of objectives. We've got a Seduce Star as well. And we're moving very, very close to the ambassador there with our pathing. And it looks like we are going to be chasing our ST down, but instead we are going to go for inspects. And we do receive a highlight, I guess, for inspects.
I think that one would actually be for that bounce because it was pretty weird looking. And the fact that we have rotated for the bookshelf, maybe Dodo actually remembered this for the microfilm and is trying to highlight for that. That's a fun part. We don't necessarily know what happens in the sniper's head. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest, by the time the cast usually roll through, I forget my thoughts as well. So yeah, it's always a fun game trying to guess what the person behind the laser is thinking. But for all we know, Chibi, one of the main suspicion targets on the venue. I mean, 1 out of 8, which is still like a decently sized game of high rise or a very annoying game of belting, but it's
Yeah,
less than
yeah.
21.
Yeah, and you're definitely right. I mean, we're in a position where we're not really being stared down by any means. And look, there's so many highlights. I think this is just going to be about finding our finish, which is definitely a possibility. We are halfway through. We are halfway through fingerprint. We could push a contact here, which I think is going to be occurring pretty soon. We're also halfway through inspects and seduce. So the problem is we've only got a minute to really finish everything up, and it looks like the DA has bailed on us. So we are all of a sudden in a very difficult situation. We have to smash out 4 objectives in the span of 50 seconds. I think we're going to have to go for a timeout now, but it's already starting to look late, and we have not moved. The only thing I can really imagine doing here is pushing a contact for a sieve shot.
And I mean, honestly, not that unlikely of a thing to happen, right? Uh, People do tend to be afraid of doing things on the spy side, but on the sniper side, the paranoia usually tends to manifest in very early shots, the lower you go in the rankings. So I wouldn't be too surprised if uh, Dodo goes for a safe shot, or in fact, the correct shot if they are lucky enough of this banana bread, but it's just the timer is running so low and we are kind of floating downwards. The check watch is green, but we abort the time ad, which allows us to get 96% on the floor and timeout immediately afterwards.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. There was a lot of action in that game that could have been taken. I think if we just moved a bit faster, and that's just one of the problems with pearls. You're just moving so slow over the venue. You're going to lose so much distance. I mean, there could have been 30 seconds that were gained there from movement. We moved from one side of the venue to the other quite a few times. And Veranda being quite a long venue, if you're going from red to blue bookshelves, you're just going to be wasting a lot of time, unfortunately. And that did happen with pearls this game. I think there definitely was opportunity to finish. Unfortunately, we're just a bit too slow on it. But we will be heading into the next set on Veranda.
And well, what better place to start our second pair of games than by playing general? Unfortunately, I mean, the seduction target choices, some things that I will critique in detail, but before we get into that, let's start the game in 3, 2, 1, playing it. I mean, that's just subject to the wrong person to put the red triangle on. Come on.
Okay, looks like we are going for a very quick book rip. And it looks like we've gotten away with it. I think Chibi rotated around a little bit too slowly and is going to get away with that one. Now, he didn't go for an insta slam, which I definitely think was good in that case. As if we're rotating around, it probably looks okay for etiquette. But we do get away with a free first objective, which is absolutely great. So we put ourselves in a pretty strong position to start with 4 minutes left and only 4 objectives to do with a hardtail done. That's pretty much the ideal start that you want.
My pattern-seeking brain, however, can't help but notice this is the third game in a row where we transfer the red book into the green bookshelf. Do you think we will do the same in the fourth game, or?
Um, microfilms are pretty good on this map, especially if you have a busy start and the ambassador is on the other side of the venue or Purloin is as well. You're not
You know
really
what's
watching
also
too
great?
hard.
A
A green
green
Purloin.
Purloin. I think Dodo may have just won this one. So the dangers of greening the Purloin is that, nat- notably, you are not the one taking the list, and also the list will be taken somewhere soon, but not fast enough for us to leave the premises beforehand. I believe the list has been noticed missing as the low light has come off on a person going to the statue. Never mind that. And yeah, I mean, now we're definitely in Gasland if we are Chibi and Dodo. I mean, we do still need to complete the missions, but this position is a lot better than the ones previously.
You're exactly right, and we put ourselves in such a good position to get 2 hardtails out of the way. On top of that, We are really chasing this ST, but we are struggling to get into a combo with them. But on top of that, we have the advantage uh, where we only have inspects, seduce, and fingerprint, and we also have contact as well. So we just have so many options. There's still 2 minutes 30. We put ourselves in a pretty good position to start with. It's just going to be about finishing now, and not rushing ourselves into a dead zone. But we are going to finally meet the ST in convo and get our first float off, which is going to be a green. So we've had a pretty decent green rate this game as well. So we are pushing towards the victory here. And we are just going to take an innocent drink now that we don't need to interact with statues.
On the other hand, I'm not necessarily certain if I exactly like taking the drink here, because if the list has only now been noticed missing, that becomes really funny, because now we do have a drink in hand next to a missed list, which
And in the red.
makes a spike on the suspicion list, if I think. If I say so myself, at the very least.
So that is going to be a real. And at this point in the party, we have seen a Purloin, and we also have seen the DA hit, which was the real, and we still only have 3 highlights. So I definitely think that's something that we might need to be focusing on in these later games. I say 3 highlights. We only have 3 lowlights, which is a pretty big concern. We've had 2 effective hardtails, and we've only gotten a couple lowlights for it, which is really going to struggle us to finish this game. Uh, just getting a few extra lowlights per tell is just going to make such a huge difference. Even if it's only two per objective, you push yourself in the right direction. That's a 20%, a 20% of the party that's knocked out. So hopefully, Chibi's able to lock in and get some more lowlights in the future games.
Or Dodo doesn't lock in and we just time out, because there's 35 seconds on the clock. We still need at least a second talk to finish the seduction if we hit the green. And we need one extra mission on top of that. Or we need to flirt, leave, and then rejoin back again after wasting all that time, which I don't think we have enough of it, because the beeps are already in. We do see the investor moving into the front of the venue. And yeah, we are on the move as well. 10 seconds to go. Let's see this late rush. The bug comes through, and so does the flirt.
2 seconds left. We are going to see the timer proc. Who are we going to take the shot on? It is not going to be us. And it's going to be no one, actually. Chibi is not going to take the shot. That was a visible bug. We'll just swap to sniper POV for a little bit. Yeah, so that bug was just a bit visible via the arm, but it wasn't too easy to see. The conversation entry was pretty aggressive, but we didn't take a shot anyway, so unfortunately that is going to be down 0-3 for Chibi. Dodo off to a pretty good start here, and it's looking like their game to run away with.
And well, the shot. I mean, I don't even blame choosing Alice as overtime target, because they are going to the statues, and the late swap is probably one of the easier ways to rush mission endings. But yeah, unfortunately, Dodo has caught us unawares, and now 3-0, looking to lock it in, playing as sniper against Kane, played by Chibi in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Right next to the Amber as well. Thought we might see a sneaky little bug attempt there, but we did let the AI take us into this empty conversation, which I think we probably should be getting out of pretty soon, because we're not going to get too much value here. Hopefully we can hunt down our ST and get the game started, but Chibi seems a little bit content to just chill in conversation. But we are going to take a move, and it is going to be for the briefcase.
Hooray, briefcase! Now we should take a book out of the red bookshelf and put it into green. Well, the briefcase will not in fact be returned because the ambassador decided to bail on us. How rude of them. But we do get move around. Straight into the statues, not wasting any time. I actually kind of like it, because the last game was a bit iffy on the timing side. So here, trying to complete the missions faster and just providing a nice little variety of game types that Dodo may have to snipe against. Not that bad. Not that bad. Chibi picking up the two inspects, nothing else.
Yeah, we were being stared down there as well. I think Chibi was watching for the swap. Probably not too much happening on the other side of the venue, considering that I think the ambassador was over there just before, but he's actually going back over, which is definitely good for us. We might be able to make a move on a microfilm here or left statues, but there's only four highlights, including us. So we're not suspects number one, but we are definitely up there. But it's just for the requisite statue touch, which is definitely going to happen. And as the game goes longer, we're going to see more of those anyway. But we do have some partial progress, which has taken us about a minute 45 to get two statue inspects and a fingerprint, which, albeit, is a little bit slow. So we do finally find the ST, which will give us a white. So we are going to be able to make more progress on our soft tails. But we still have a long way to go to get this game to a finish. It not just completing the soft tails, but completing the possible hard tails as well. The question is, what are going to be our fourth and fifth objectives? We're likely going to see contact, but yeah, I don't know what that fifth objective is going to be.
I mean, at the very least, I do like the idea of starting on that. Uh, sorry, soft tile progress nice and early because they just take a lot more time to get done with, even if hard tiles take a lot less time to complete, which is why we can do them later. They also need setup, and if that setup does not come by, you do need to complete your soft tiles. You do need to get those flirts in lest you are in time at frustrations. But for the LB, not too much here. We are spending time trading phrases at each other, and Chibi's just sitting here waiting for a flirt. Unfortunately, the flirt was red, so the stash target going to inspect statues. We are also gonna do the same, but on a different set because we do need some missions to be completed. And actually gonna start with a swap. The swap is kind of on screen. Inspect goes through. I think Dodo has seen the swap, but Dodo made a bit of a wrong call here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Okay, so it looks like we had the track. So Queen was at the statues just before us, and as she left, we redirected straight to statues. So I think he thought it must have been a green, and went for the shot. Maybe got a book misread there. It was a good track. Unfortunately, was wrong. Probably would have been better to just low light the party down to two. But we take the 50-50 and we lose the coin flip. So that is going to be the end of Veranda. And Dodo is going to be up 3-1. So it's a good start, especially for the double pick.
A nice little +1 out of their own double is a cute little bit of progress. A bit of a shame about that last game, but you know what? Mistakes happen. We just need to win anyway. And well, we are in a good positions to do that, considering that our opponent has a little bit of an issue completing missions in time, and the venues are just big, as indicated by this one, where Dodo is going to be playing Rachel on Library in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, we are going to make a quick move to the other side of the venue. Not sure what we're looking for yet. Oh, but we do go for an interesting bug, and we get highlight for it. I think we already have bug credit because we were the only one in that group that actually got highlight, which is definitely not a good start. We also sell highlight onto Disney now. So we put ourselves into a bit of an awkward situation here where we haven't gotten the objective and we've been credited for it, which is probably the worst case scenario. Teal has a very visible bug. Her arm goes all the way out, so you have to be pretty hidden to get away with a bug with her. Unfortunately, that did not work out for us. But we are about 30 seconds in, and we don't have any progress yet.
Think about it this way: our opponent has bug credit on us, which means that now we can bug for free.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, we do have plus one. The unfortunate thing is that we're much more likely to be shot. Um, but
So
hopefully
that
we
is
can
a mission in
get
our
away with
back
it.
pocket whenever we want to go for it. We basically made a hard tell a soft tell. We It's free as heck,
Oh,
if I may swear, on this Christian stream. By the way, we are gonna pick up a briefcase. That's going to be our first bit of soft tell progress, which is slightly late-ish for my tastes, but you know what? We've seen games and we've seen games end on a missed shot, and not gonna be likely here, probably. But you know, you can always hope. You can always believe. Our seduction target has book in hand, is moving around. We are gonna recheck the twink. No Purloin on this one, which I think I kind of agree with. Yeah, just trying to chase somebody. No, just trying to chase the books, because why else come to the library? We do want to read some books.
looks like we will get blue in hand. It has been a very long time now, and we have very little progress. Oh, and the ST bails on us as well. That is. Oh nope, she's coming. Oh no, and she's not coming back. She's gone. I
It's
don't
all
really think
over.
it would matter anyway. We get progress with her anyway. I don't think it matters. We are going to go for a book read here. We also get the green, which will give us 51%. So I think that's absolutely fine. That was a quick
We are
turnaround.
still back.
Yeah, we are partially back, but we are still fighting against the clock here. We have 2 minutes to get a significant amount of progress done. We need to. The problem is we need to step it into overdrive, but the moment we do, I think we're just going to get shot. So it's a very scary situation to be in.
I mean, we have never been so partially back before. Also, Dodo, please back down. As I've stated earlier, it was free, unfortunately.
Banana bread.
Not gonna be the option now, but at the very least, the banana bread is true and correct. So that's our first mission completion with 100 seconds to go on this venue.
Yeah, down to 100. We are really starting to struggle for time. We do find pearls again, so we are going to get our flow back. This time it's going to be a white. We are going to get it done, but that's okay. We don't really need to sit here for long. We go for a normal watch check as well. Might have been worth going for a watch check earlier. I think we were running out of time for quite a while, and it probably would have been a bit beneficial, but I don't know how we're really going to finish here. Down to 70 seconds. We see it now. Comes in a little bit late. We do get a green, actually, so that's going to be a pretty big advantage for us. And we are going to steer well clear of the ambassador. We don't want to get hit with the bug credit again. And this will be the
Banana
But
bread.
fake BB
why are
coming out.
we afraid of being hit with a bug credit? We already have the bug credited to us. No, Dodo. I mean, I do like the game plan here, right? We try to banana bread to throw attention off, and then we split into try
Banana
to
bread.
send the microfilm. Unfortunately, um, those kind of plays don't quite work when you are the prime suspect. Um, it's just very obvious if we are being tunneled, and we, as a matter of fact, were being tunneled here. So Dodo takes a risk. It doesn't quite bail out, but Chibi is now in the position to place a spy on this one. And well, playing green dress, I'm actually kind of interested to see us claw some of that veranda credit back. This library being kind to us so far. In 3, 2, 1, planet. And
Yeah,
to the
green
statues
dress.
immediately.
Yeah, green dress also a great spy. We are going to go straight to side inspects to start us off with. Most likely going to pick up the requisite statue highlight. Yes, we are. We are going to do a very quick swap as well. I don't know whether we got away with that. It wasn't looked at too hard. If we do, this is going to be a huge start for us. But we will find out once the statue's put down. And are we going to get shot? We're going to find out in the next few seconds. Oh, we're standing there for quite a while. And I think the shot is going to be coming off here.
I swear that statue wasn't looked at.
Yeah, we just swapped to
Oh,
sniper
okay.
POV.
No, we do have a clear look at it, which is a bit unfortunate. If we
Yeah,
went to the
okay.
right statue instead of the left one, it would have
You're right.
been a
Yeah.
lot easier to defend against. But
Yeah, I think
yeah,
they caught a glimpse. I think they're a bit unsure as well because the shot didn't come off straight away. I think Dodo was a little bit apprehensive of actually taking that shot. But you're right. If she came across to the middle or the right statue, it actually wasn't on screen when Dodo looked around. So that was a very dangerous play there. But very fortunate that Chibi just went to the one that was closest to them. Ended up working out in our favor. But we are going to take the game up to 4-2 as we head into the second half of Library. Currently, both players 1-1. It looks like we are going to meet the green dress claim as we see Dodo on green dress as well. Loading in 3-2-1.
Green sweep all the way through. Unfortunately, we are not gonna be stopping at the green bookshelves, instead preferring to make our way to the left of the venue, probably hoping for the seduction target to join us. Unfortunately, not gonna be the case here. But, you know what? No harm, no foul. The game's on this line anyway.
Yeah, absolutely fine to start off a little bit slow. The only issue can be some of these, and I know this comes up quite a bit, but both players have definitely shown moments of playing quite slowly and kind of losing the clock. So hoping that they've kind of become aware of that and are able to just move a little bit faster because Dodo was definitely struggling with that last game. I think we knew that we were being stared down. But oh, a nice redirect there. Some nice etiquette. Doesn't get us a low lie or anything, but definitely a good redirect.
It's a weird thing, right? You would expect this to lose us points on the sniper's suspicion scale, but unfortunately, it may just be remembered as, oh yeah, Irish had that weird thing with the briefcase. It probably looked AI-like, but people usually don't remember that second part. They just remember that Green Dress did something weird. And you really don't want to be caught doing weird things.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it gets to a point though where you see an AI do something so wacky in a game, and then you shoot them for it, and you think, "Oh my God, like do all AIs do this? What am I watching?" Like, it's so strange that I would never see a player try and attempt what that AI just did because it was so outlandish. And then maybe sometimes it can work in your favor. I don't really think at this level we should be low lighting for etiquette like that. Definitely conversation leaves and oh, a bit of a stutter there. Definitely for conversation leaves and stuff we can get away with, as we have seen both players leave during etiquette breaks during conversation. But that's not hard to that's not hard to miss. You have to be directly looking for it, and that's just not going to be easy.
Well, the target is being seduced, so that's our first mission done, which is pretty neat. The fingerprint is in our hands. Unfortunately, the second one was stolen from us. But you know what is not stolen from us? The extra time that we are gonna get back with this timeout, and I think that timeout was not noticed. Love to see
Yeah,
it.
if we were looking at green dress, that definitely would have been a giveaway. But was able to kind of get in and out of the pad pretty quickly. To where Chibi is just looking on the other side of the venue. You know, Ambassador's further to the left. The Purloin's way on the other side. You don't really want to be looking at someone just randomly sitting at windows. So completely understand the miss, but it is going to give us an extra 45 seconds, and it is a 45 seconds we desperately need. As oh, we do a stutter on the pad. That's not caught. But yeah, we're still standing around doing nothing, so we really gotta get a move on.
Well, speaking of doing nothing, here is a briefcase. Here is a fingerprint on the briefcase. That is going to be our second mission completion, which is pretty good. Those two missions are not sounding like much, but both of them take quite a lot of time. And now we just have more time and, more importantly, more brain space to figure out how we can force those hartals in the next few minutes as the game slowly starting to go back into the direction of we have no time at all. Here comes the banana bread, here comes the cough, which, in my personal opinion, is actually spy-sided. It was not on screen, and now the sniper is being scared.
Yeah, it puts two things into your mind. As a sniper, you know that it's great because you've effectively gotten a few lowlights for nothing. You haven't lost an objective. The banana bread isn't being done. The problem is whenever you hear a cough, your head goes into such a weird state where you're like, "Oh, where's the cough? Where's the cough?" And you don't actually take lowlights. You just kind of look for the cough person. So if we just quickly swap to the POV of Chibi here. We do have four lowlights, so it looks like we might have gotten a little bit out of it, but probably not as much as we were looking for. We still know that the contact isn't done though, so it puts us in a decent spot. Chibi most likely on high alert here though.
No! What? I've taken out the blue book as result of us coughing, but no, we just put the book back. I don't like this. I think now we're actually running a high amount of danger in trying to time out here because 20 seconds to go, we are being offered, and this has to be a purloin. Yes, it will be. It will actually be a green, which buys extra time and has the potential to hang the clock if we finish our missions. However, there's no chance here. The purloin comes through, and there is a take by the SDA, which means that it was a green, unfortunately, here. The shot is a bit wrong, and, well, Dodo gets another one.
Yeah, I think that was a huge panic shot, unfortunately, by Chibi. Now, we did see the highlight was already on Twin for whatever reason. They might have done a statue visit earlier in the game. We actually saw the take from Duke there, and then we saw a time ad that was pretty close to the time. I think the time ad from Twin wouldn't have lined up with the time ad that was actually given. But it did look like someone trying to desperately get time back in the game, and Dodo kind of hiding in the corner, trying to get away with it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you think about that one? I think it's just an unfortunate panic shot, really.
I mean, it happens, right? A bit sad, but now that you've explained that it matches up with the time ad, it kind of makes more sense to me, right? You
Yeah.
do see a purloins that you probably missed because it was a green, and let's be honest, who remembers green purloins in Challenger? Tryhards. Uh, and then you just see a time ad right out here on the screen, so you shoot for it. It happens, and unfortunately, not the correct one this time. That said, we do get a chance to take a crack at it ourselves. It here being twin and complete missions, and maybe even adding time. Who knows? In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Oh yeah, and before you ask which twin it is, I don't care, and I don't know.
I have seen the strat to highlight one twin and low light the other. In this situation, really don't need to. We do a very early leave on that conversation. We just get our seduce and then just dip, and I absolutely love to see that. I'm very, very happy to see the active gameplay coming out there. Hopefully we can sip our drink and then we've got a little bit more action. It looks like we do. We do another little etiquette break there. Not that it matters, because there's really no reason to look at us. But we are going to put ourselves into an empty conversation with 34% already on the flirt, only 20, 30 seconds in. We're definitely off to a good Softail start. The question is, we just got to keep it going. And hopefully we can sneak in a bug and kind of catch back up here, because I think we are down 5-2 at the moment. So still within reach, but it's starting to fall out of our grasp. Ooh.
I mean,
Awesome. It wasn't me.
it was a bug off screen. You can't get much better than that.
Yeah, that's great, and no credit for it as well.
Right, so we are taking some amount of matter into our own hands. Will it be enough? Who knows? The seduction target, not the biggest fan of ours, but we will probably chase him at some point in the future. The drink is being rejected, no purloins this time around. And I mean, honestly, the bug has been pretty good. Unfortunately, I have seen so many games being wasted after a very good hardtail in the beginning, just because the spy gets complacent. It's very important to remember that a bug is not the first mission you should be doing, and probably not the missions that you should be counting into your checklist of how far am I done with this game. Of course, doing that hardtail is a very important part of finishing a game, but to finish the game, you need to eat your veggies, you need to do your flirts, you need to do your banana bread. Here we do have 66%, which is pretty nice, but maybe falling a little bit behind.
Yeah, you're exactly right. 4 minutes becomes 2 minutes very, very quickly, especially at the start of the game. And since then, we've only really gotten the bug and pushed a partial inspect through. And it looks like we're just sitting in conversation, not talking. So unfortunately, the yellow arrow was on us, but we were not aware there. But that's all right. We're gonna leave and hopefully head to another partial objective or microfilm. But no, we are gonna push ourselves towards statues, but we redirect towards the DA instead, or one of the possible DAs. Sorry. Um, which is not the real one. And Boots, oh, very fortunately joins us here. That is very lucky.
Yep, that's going to be a mission here. We are being offered a drink, and that Berlin, unfortunately, is going to be a white, which is being gone right now. But you know what? The Berlins have been so green so far that it's only a simple assumption that this one was green as well. And honestly, I don't really blame them. You know, the animations are very hard to discern for a newer player, and here, yeah, Chibi just kind of gets away with it, bringing it back up to 5-3, which is a bit of a spot coming out of doubles, but yeah, still behind. Thankfully, we still have the singles to hit us over or something. I don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like we actually were doing quite a good job tracking that Purloin. I'm just going back and watching really quickly. Dodo was right on top of it, but unfortunately, just didn't take the highlights instead, just decided to take 50-50. And once again, we lost the coin flip. Didn't work out in our favor. But we are going to move straight on to Aquarium here, which is going to be Dodo's pick, which we will be seeing on Alice in 3, 2, 1.
Don't worry, if we flip enough coins, eventually we will start winning. And well, if we do enough bucks, eventually Stonezen will be seen, but not this one either. Pretty good, pretty clean, and pretty early on as well. However, we are being marked as suspicious, probably for what checking is back, maybe even for that bug itself. And if it is for the bugs, then I'm very scared. If it is not, then I'm very relieved and not afraid in the slightest.
Yeah, it could have just been possible bug credit. I think there were two people as well. I think Duke got a highlight as well. So I don't think the bug was directly seen, but it might just be giving the +1 to the people who were there, which in this situation is definitely beneficial because we have highlighted the spy here. So maybe a little bit of it was seen. They're just not too sure. We did see Chibi do this on the teal game. Actually, did highlight for the bug, didn't shoot straight away. So maybe it was seen here and they're just watching for a break, and we'll go for the kill later. But we are going to see the bug and partial seduce done for Dodo, so we're off to a pretty decent start here. And flotation cooldown is gone. We've got DA as well. Now wouldn't be a terrible time to do. Ooh, now probably isn't as good. But hopefully we're able to get some points on the board and get the spies back in.
And I mean, we have seen what not taking your time with those results in. Because if you're shooting right now, you're essentially taking a coin flip with your own imagination. Do you think that you've seen what you've seen, or did you actually see it? And I don't know. And unfortunately, sometimes those flips are incorrect. So Chibi here, being patient and trying to play a bit of a different game, trying to test their memory instead of their perception. Is Dodo done with the missions? When will Dodo be done? I mean, so far we do have Flirt, but Flirt comes pre-checked in most snipers' view. We do have one fingerprint of that briefcase, and we do have the bug that we presumably highlight for. So my guess will be we are getting shot on the banana bread. Let's see how this one will pan out.
Yeah, and if Chibi's watching as well, we just saw a talk, sorry, an entry and talk. It was a very quick entry and talk as well. It was probably a second. So that's definitely something that would alarm me if I've already got someone highlight. So that will only really draw more suspicion on us. We might not be watching for it, which is absolutely fine. But if we are, that would be a great spot by Chibi. Dodo obviously just trying to push the game towards its conclusion. As we know, our time might be very limited. We're also down to 1 minute and 8 seconds at the moment, so we do have some partial objectives done, but smashing them all out in a minute is not going to be super easy, but it's definitely doable. We just need to really start pushing the seduce, which we have, and now we just need two objectives.
I mean, what we can do is just go to that back right left statue, pick it up, get the print off of it, and then swap for the win. And there is a potential chance to sync it up with a shark, and it would be perfect. But here, no, we are just gonna get to the bar, likely take. No, we actually demand. Hey, that's funny. That's fascinating. Oh
I
wait,
mean, I
no,
love
I'm.
demands.
I
Oh
mean,
no, he's just
unreasonable
froze.
demands is what I'm here for, right? If I'm not talking about how I think the game should be played and people are not listening to me, which obviously who is, am I really casting? The drink is gonna get taken, and we are actually gonna purloin this. Ooh, that's an interesting way to finish, but unfortunately, it does make us an overtime shot, and Chibi will not let this one slide.
Yeah, I mean that's just solid attempt on the finish. Once again, it was just a very slow mid game by Dodo, which I think we've seen a couple of those now where they seem to get off to a great start, get a bug off straight away. Getting a hard tell off straight away is such a huge advantage, and we've seen them do it with microfilms as well. But then it gets to the mid game, and they just seem to be okay with their progress, and then they just kind of do nothing for a while. Um, which is pretty unfortunate because it's basically 2 minutes. From the 3 minute mark to the 1 minute mark, we did uh, most of our flirt. We didn't even finish the flirt. Um, so there's just so much of the game where we're just kind of standing around, which is really unfortunate. So definitely need to get the move on as our spy. But hopefully we're able to lock in with the sniper and secure the win here. I think Chippy will be playing a salmon here, spawning right in the corner as well. In three, two, one.
I mean, at the very least, secures the marble. That would be a nice little start for us, sitting on flat right now. Obviously, there are 12 games in a match maximum in this division, so if we get to 6, that's already a tie. And if we don't, we are just gonna be not happy with ourselves, honestly. That does not feel that great. But Salmon, on the other hand, will just take the purloin and delegate it to Miss Peach. Let's see how this one works out.
Yeah, we actually cheese the
And
delegate as
red.
well. We didn't finish the bar. Now we haven't received a highlight or anything. We do see a couple of low lads do come off. We take the shot straight away, so it's tracked pretty well. Looks like Dodo is aware of the delegate cheese. As we're able to lock that in pretty quickly. Just followed red
I
dress
mean,
straight to bar, and that's going to be the kill.
at the very least, very aware of how delegate works and calling Chibi out for not faking it, which was not faked in this particular case. It works if you miss it, if you miss delegate early on, but unfortunately here Dodo just kind of locks in on the sniper. And we are definitely in the marble territory. The first win for Dodo wins Dodo's the game.
Yep.
And let's see how this one goes because we are, unfortunately, for Dodo, will be starting with the spy game. Sorry, being our pick for this Kotkat game in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, we are on Sari as well. Was very close to the possible bug attempt. Actually, didn't take it. We are going to be hunting down our ST here. Great way to start the game. It's going to be a green as well, so we are going to get off to 51%. This is going to be some nice early progress to push it in the right direction. I think as we've a very early conversation there as well. As we've seen from Dodo, it's not the early progress that's an issue. It's the mid game. So hopefully we're able to translate this early seduce into an active mid game, especially considering that we got the fingerprint half done as well. So we're off to quite a decent start. Two objectives partially done. A little bit of strange pathing there. Kind of got screened by Toby, but we are just going to head straight back to our ST. And yeah, this is going to be a lot of progress that's done very quickly. It is going to be a white, but that's still good progress.
I do have to highlight the green test rate because so far this has just been kind of cooking from from Dodo here. Pretty good, pretty consistent, and I think I've seen more green purloins than white ones, which, if you ask me how many green purloins I've done in my competitive career, I would just cry instead of answering. So yeah, Dodo having a pretty good game so far in terms of action tests. And I do think that we tend to have a slump in progress rate if we get that early Hartel. Here on Kotyat, getting the Hartel usually is the name of the game, which is why people tend to boot it off, which ironically makes the pacing much faster for people because now that they are not thinking about doing those Hartels, they are actually committing to rushing those softels, which means that they progress through the game faster, which is very paradoxical but very amusing.
Fortunately, seems like talking about the green checks has had the
We
opposite
don't talk
effect of
about that
Caster's
one.
Curse. Yeah, yeah, the
We don't
Caster's
talk
Curse.
about red triangles and red checks.
Yeah, and the
And,
red
and
check has come in.
I never said that. Do not check the tapes. Either
Okay,
way,
so we do get an extra test white here, so we are able to finish for RST.
not gonna be an issue because we just chase with Gets and Clark. And
Hmm.
that's two of our missions done. Unfortunately, I mean, that's halfway there. The prayers are being lived on, so to speak. And well, there is a double agent, so we only need to figure out what our last mission will be in the tailing 40-ish seconds of the game.
We are sorry here as well with the ambassador right next to us. I think we're in a okay position to bug. Unfortunately, the laser's kind of on the side we don't want it to be on. We are still a highlight here, and we are going in for a statue finish.
Oh, I
I
love it.
don't know whether we'll get a shot here. This is kind of a 50-50, but we'll see what happens. As oh no, Pels is coming in. But we did do the other one first. That's absolutely fine. Going for a second cycle. It's going to come down to the mission win countdown.
And Chibi is not calling it out in the slightest. Honestly, yeah,
Hmm?
that's how it's supposed to work. Your fourth mission in this particular case is the fingerprint. And because we've gotten away with it earlier in the game, and it was actually the first mission we have completed, we do manage to slip past the attention with this inspect here. And, well, a very well deserved victory from Dodo. A few annoying losses on the 50-50 shots in the mid game here, but all in all, locked in on the sniper, pretty decent spy, and a pretty decent victory to boot.
Yeah, that is going to be a 7-4. Yeah, there were definitely some spots in the mid game. Definitely some games that we can learn from as well, which is pretty much exactly what you want. It's great to get a victory, but it's also great to kind of see where your possible weaknesses are and to kind of improve on those. And I think both players definitely have a lot to learn from this set. I think this was a great learning set for both players. Because I think there were definitely some games where their weaknesses really showed, but their strengths really showed as well. Both really promising players. I think maybe if one or two Civ shots were different, this could have easily been a tie. I think the game was actually a lot closer than the scoreboard really shows it out to be. But yeah, win for Dodo 7-4. Always great to get the win.